Hello, my name is Chris Ringler. I am an author living in Flint, Michigan. I am the author of about 20 books, ranging from creepy kids fiction to fantasy to horror. I generally write horror. That's what more of what I consider what I do is horror. You can find all of my stuff at spookychris.com. I do a podcast on there, and I am part of the Ghoul cast, which the Flint Horror Collective does. I welcome you to April Ghouls Day 2021. Thank you for checking my stuff out. Thank you for checking the whole event out. I appreciate it. So I'm going to read you a story called The Monster. It is going to be part of a collection of monster stories I hope to release this year in 2021. That is the intention. So this is my story, The Monster. I hope you like it. The Monster. He stared at it from across the room with a faint smile on his lips, a voyeur looking into the mirror of his creation. The room felt too bright, too pristine. White on white on white. His aesthetic, but it seemed wrong now. Obscene. The only thing that seemed to fit, that seemed holy here, was the red pool and crimson spatters that encircled the body on the table. The man rubbed his hands together and looked down at them. Red, red, red. His smile grew. Red was the color of life, the color of death. Red was the vibrant beating heart of the universe, not this white. The awful nothingness that represented the vanity between thoughts, the imaginary perfection of a fractured soul. The man took his hands and watched as red droplets dotted the walls and floor. That was better. That was a start. He looked down at his clothes, white pants, white shoes, white apron, white shirt, and upon his face a white mask. He took his bloody hand and wiped it across his face and down his chest. Better. The man stood and pushed two small tables on wheels full of bloody tools aside and strode over to the body. It lay motionless on the table, tangles of surgical string haphazardly tying sections together, clumsy sutures and messy stitches. One eye was hanging on its cheek. Its chest was still open, though the heart was inside and attached. He'd been in a rush, a hurry. The urges were coming sooner now, more aggressive. He had tried everything, meditation, pills, hypnosis, drugs, and on, but nothing worked. The only thing that could exorcise this red demon was to give in to it, to let it have its way. He had found a way to control it, though, a way to chain it. This was his way. He would use his skill, his craft, his art. He would use this room, white and pristine, like he had never been on the inside, and he would bloody these walls without harming any more people, any more living people. Enough had suffered at his hands. Here, though, the demon could be set free to do as it wished, any time it wished. He wasn't proud of this work, this sloppy mess, this man-made mess. These were bodies borrowed, taken from the morgue, disassembled, detached, put back together like a puzzle with pieces that didn't quite fit. Black legs, brown arms, skin smooth and flawless, a flabby torso, pale and tattooed, the head of a young man still in his prime, his mouth almost in a smile, the beautiful and the profane. All were welcome here. Oh, but it was no fun playing with the toys out of their boxes. No, he needed the thrill of making something new, something that shouldn't exist, and then destroying it. He had always wondered what to do with his father's property up north, a place he had no interest in or connection to, but when the demon had whispered to him and had said, "What if?" Everything had clicked into place. An operating theater, a furnace room, a red room for the ladies he built, the white room for the men. Sometimes the men and women changed rooms, changed bodies, changed parts. It was up to the demon as to what its pleasures were. Usually, though, its pleasure was pain. He liked that. He liked the red sort of fun. He liked that best. Oh, but the bodies that started to pile up in his playrooms. One on another, stacked and broken, toys to be thrown away, or parts to be reused. And he had held off on burning them, because what if? What if these broken toys could be fused to make something new? What if? And that is when the demon told him what to do next. That was when he started his experiments. That was when the fun began. The man stretched, cracked his fingers, then attached the wires to the heart of the body on the table. Turned on the machine he had also borrowed, like so much of the rest, which sat on a table beside him. He ran a hand over the slack face of the dead young man and smiled as he felt stirrings both above and below. He closed his eyes and ran a thumb over the cold lips of the man. He was beautiful. Broken and beautiful. His hand slid over the chest. He reached inside him and gently grabbed the man's heart and caressed it. Then his hand fell on what he had been looking at the entire time. The scalpel was sticky with blood that had dried. With no purpose, the blade was just a tool with nothing to do. That would not do. An artist's tool needs its clay. Oh, and had carved so much clay over these past few months. Like this one, this body waiting for life. Waiting, but not for long. Blade would have purpose again, and more blood than it could ever consume. There'd be more where that came from. Plenty more. The man took his free hand and moved the dial to the highest setting and then pressed the button in. Shock! The body jumped. Shock! It jumped again. Shock! The heart started to beat slowly. Shock! The heart began to thunder. And slowly of the beautiful man on the table, the eyes opened. His hand started to twitch. And it was time to play. That is my story, The Monster, from an upcoming short story collection. Again, my name is Chris Ringler, Spooky Chris. You can find all of my blogs, podcasts, and links to all of my books at my website, spookychris.com. I appreciate you sticking with me and listening to the story. Hope you have a great time this weekend with April Fool's Day, and hope you find some of your new favorite authors. Thanks a lot. Take care.